So next week, again, Tuesday is the ACT. So if you're an A-day person watching on the video, you have in-person, nothing on Tuesday, no school, so unless you're a junior and then you take an ACT, and another in-person class. If you're an A-day student, you have 2 virtual days. If you're a B-day student, you go virtual, no school, virtual, in-person, in-person. Okay, that's how it works for you guys in class right now, because you're B-day. So you go virtual, no school, unless you're a junior taking the ACT, then you're taking the ACT. Then virtual, then in-person, in-person. Okay, so just, that's kind of where you're at. The sheet that you guys picked up on the way in is not posted in Canvas yet, but it's one of your 2 virtual day assignments for Monday and Wednesday, B-day students. Okay, so that's where that is. There's 2 things. There's another video for you to watch on human CRISPR editing and how that could change actually the human population, the species as we know it. So there's a video with some Google form questions there for part of your virtual day, and then what you have in front of you is going to take you a little bit longer. So over 2 days, the combination of that video, I think it's like an 8-minute long video, and then that activity, the paper that you have in front of you, it's an interactive thing. Mr. Duran went through and wrote specific questions and definitions for the different parts. That's your 2 virtual day assignments. And then on Thursday, Friday, and the in-person days, we're going to do a lab dealing with proteins and enzymes. So there's that. ACT, I do want to talk ACT quick. Tomorrow, on your virtual day, your virtual day assignment is to spend a little time learning about the science portion of the ACT. Now, some of you are juniors, and some of you are sophomores. I know that. For sophomores, just kind of getting an idea of what's going to be on the ACT next year is worthwhile, is worth doing. If this was a different year, we would be giving you full practice tests of the science portion of the ACT. Not this year. Juniors, you're taking it on Tuesday, so this is for sure going to hopefully give you a few tips. So your virtual day assignment due on Sunday, this is due Sunday evening, a little bit different for B-day students, this is due Sunday evening, is there's 3 optional activities down here, but the required video, or the required thing for all students is I recorded a video talking about through the different parts of the science ACT. I used to teach an ACT prep course on the science portion, so I kind of went through and hit some highlights. Talk about, so your assignment is to watch the video and take notes, okay? Piece of paper somewhere. You're gonna take some notes and you're gonna take a picture of your notes. That's your assignment, is to watch the video, take notes, take a picture of your notes to say, hey, look, I watched the video, I took notes, there they are. Okay, that is your homework that is due on Sunday. That's due on Sunday. The optional thing, there are 3 types of what we call passages in the science portion of the ACT. There's these, they're called data representation, research summaries, and conflicting viewpoints. The optional assignment, and the juniors, I encourage you to do this, especially, there are 3 passage types. If you would like, you can click on those. Also, they are here under modules there, or whether they say optional. And there is a PDF, okay? So we didn't print this off, but there's a PDF copy. The first page is a cover page. And pacing is huge on the science portion in the ACT in general. The science portion of the ACT has 40 questions, and you only have 35 minutes to answer all 40 questions. Most of the questions asked, bless you, on the science portion of the ACT, you do not need to know prior knowledge on. They aren't what you learned in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade. It's interpreting graphs, it's interpreting data, drawing conclusions based upon that. And then there's a part that's a reading. General rule of thumb, about every 5 minutes you should be turning the page when you're taking the ACT. So the idea of these is once you identify what passage type it is, then there's some strategies. And then what you can do is either you mark up this PDF, submit the PDF, or you write your answers on a separate sheet of paper. If you want to do this, this is an optional activity. It'd be good if you're going to take the ACT. And then submit those. I will grade them. I'll give you feedback whether you got the answers right or wrong. but it's optional. If you do it, you got full credit. If you do not do it, I will excuse it from you. It will not affect your overall grade. I'll excuse them on Tuesday. So that's the ACT part of your virtual day. This is due on Sunday. This is a little different for B days. This is due on Sunday, not on Monday like your typical ones. Okay, so there's some optional pieces, but the required part is to take notes on the video and submit your picture of your notes. Okay. I think that's good for next week then. So where we were on Tuesday, we were talking about different kind of types of editing techniques. So what we're going to do is there are 4 different topics that we are going to look at, or you are going to look at, I should say. And the 4 topics that you have all have the same requirements. So the idea of this, we found this online, is there's 4 different topics. The topics vary, but the requirements are, you're taking this, you're pretending you're an elected official. Okay, you are an elected official, and they're presenting you with a situation, and you need to make informed recommendation about what to do on your topic. But you don't have all the information you need, so how do you get that information you need? So you're gonna read about the topic, then you're gonna ask yourself, what else do I still need to know in order to make a good decision? And then who do I need to ask in order to do that? So you will create a list of at least 6 questions that you have after you read the scenario. Then you're gonna create a list of at least 4 people that you would ask these questions to. So for example, maybe you'd say like, hey, is genetic editing safe? You would ask probably a geneticist. If one of the topics is about mosquitoes, you might ask a scientist who studies mosquitoes a question about it. So that's the idea. And then how would you decide the recommendations you make on the technique? Then, think about the information you might need, viewpoints from the experts, medical health, questions that you might have about ethical. You might have an ethical question that might be best answered by a bioethicist, which is a person who thinks about moral and ethical issues based on science advances. Maybe you want to talk to a philosopher. Maybe you want to talk about it to a religious leader. Do you want to hear from people directly affected, or from experts, or from neighbors, or from citizens? So you're going to create that list. And then what you're going to do, it says be prepared to explain your questions. And I think what we'll probably do is we'll probably do a post-it kind of note style. So that's the general that's the framework. So there's 4 different situations, you're going to do 2, and each one has the exact same framework. Okay, so you are going to come up with 6 questions after reading your scenario, and the scenarios are listed on the bottom of page 2, bottom of page 1, I'm sorry, and then continues on to page 2. Then after you read the scenario, you are going to come up with 6 potential questions that you still have or you need to have answered before you can make an informed decision as that elected official who's going to make a policy on it. And then who would you ask? You have a list of 4 people. So that is the same for all 4 topics. The 4 topics that we're going to do are, there is a disease called Zika virus that affects children, unborn children. So if a woman were to get infected with the Zika virus, there's a possibility that their child could get something called microcephaly, which their head doesn't fully grow. That it could affect that. So the idea is, what if we modified the mosquitoes' genes to prevent them from infecting or getting reproducing? Is actually kind of what we did. Okay, so that's what the topic that they described. Topic 2, there was a slide that I showed you about mice. There's a liver disease that's genetic that they have done some studies with animals, and they've been somewhat successful with preventing or curing the liver disease. So should we move forward and start doing that same editing in humans? Okay, that's what topic number 2 is. Topic number 3, the topic number 3 is talking about human embryos. So right now, if a couple were struggling to get pregnant, they might seek help from a fertility clinic, and they might do something called in vitro fertilization. And in vitro fertilization, they extract some eggs from the female, and they take some sperm from the male, and they combine it in a petri dish. And then you might have 4 or 5 different fertilized cells then that you can implant into the mother, and then they would grow and develop. This is already a thing. Well, they can look at those fertilized eggs, and they can kind of analyze the DNA, and then based upon those, you could go through and say, which of these 4 do I think would be the best to have be my child? That's a thing, just for the record. This topic is going a little bit further, though, and saying now you're in vitro. Now instead of saying which of these 4, based upon the DNA sequence, do I like the best, is, well, why not tweak these a little bit? Why don't I tweak those fertilized eggs? Maybe I want, like Gattaca style, I want what color hair, I want what complexion of skin, I want what disease removed, I want what type of height, things like that. And then topic number 4 is you as an adult are going to, it's as asking whether you as an individual have the right to edit your own genes, your own DNA, to make you, for non-medical reasons, different. Maybe you're going to be stronger. Maybe you are going to exchange oxygen better, so you could become, for lack, the common go-to is like a professional athlete. You could give yourself the athletic abilities to become like a professional athlete. In my mind, I kind of think Marvel, Captain America kind of stuff right here. It's kind of where mine goes. My mind goes with this, but it's not quite like that. Okay, so these are the 4 topics. What you're going to do is you're going to either do topic number 1 or topic number 2. And then you're either going to do topic number 3 or you're going to do topic number 4. You're going to do a total of 2 topics. So either 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Now, ideally, we kind of split these up based upon the number of pieces of paper I have. I am not short supplied on any of these. So I'm just going to kind of let you, if everyone wanted to do number 1 or number 3, I guess that's fine. I'd like a little bit of variety, but if it is how it is, I'm okay with that for this class. So your task is to read the scenario, come up with 6 questions that you say, hey, I still need to answer these questions based upon this scenario in order for me as an elected official to make an informed decision, but who would I ask these questions to? Once you come up with your 6 are really just brainstorming ideas. Then I want you to come up with your best 2. And then your best 2 we're going to put on a Post-it. So your best 2 questions are going to go on a Post-it, and who would you ask them, and then we're going to stick them on the board, and we can kind of come up with some general kind of conclusions as a class for those particular topics. I'm okay with you working in a group of 2, like as a partner if you want. If you want to work individually, by all means, you are welcome to do that as well. If you do want to work as a partner, a lab table would be a good choice, sitting kitty corner like we've done so many times already. Kitty corner is good because that gives us that 6 feet of spacing. Or if you want to do this individually, that's fine too. If you do work as a group of 2, I'm going to say Post-it note wise, let's go 3 Post-its between the 2 of you. If you're working individually, we'll go 2 Post-it notes for you. Okay? Now, when you come and grab these copies, I'm gonna blame Mr. DeBoer. He didn't staple these. Okay? So there are 2 sheets that are sitting on top of one another, but he forgot to hit the staple button. So when you grab the top sheet, make sure you grab the second sheet. There's 2 sheets. Okay? You're gonna start with topic number 1, Zika virus and mosquitoes, or you're going to choose topic number 2, which is liver disease. Okay? And you're going to pick one, and then whichever one you choose, so this is topic 1, this is mosquitoes, you come and grab that, again, 2 pieces of paper. Or this is topic number 2, and this is the liver disease. Then, when you're done with those, you come up with your Post-it notes. We're going to stick them under the board. Then you choose either topic 3 or topic number 4, either on editing human embryos, the DNA sequence of unborn children, or you kind of editing yourself for non-medical reasons, just to make you more have traits that you really want, you desire. Okay, so you're going to start with either 1 or 2. Once you're done with that, you're going to move on to topic 3 or 4. If you're working individually, 2 post-it notes. The best 2 questions that you have, we're going to put on the board. If you're working as a partner, that's fine, 6 feet. But then we're going to go 3 post-it notes. Okay, we have about 35 minutes, I think, is it right around 30 probably. So to kind of, like, how long should each one take you? 10 to 12 minutes, I'm hoping, per topic. Okay, by the time you read it, by the time you come up with some questions, by the time you choose your best questions, and then you get your next one, you know, ideally right around the 10 to 12, probably gonna be more like 15. And then maybe we'll have a little bit of time to talk about it today. I didn't yesterday, and if not, then we'll kind of start with class next week, Thursday, with that. So that's kind of what we're gonna do for the rest of the class. Again, partner's fine, just gotta spread out. Topic 1's right here, topic 2, this is the liver disease.